Hello everyone and welcome back to K-All. My name is Angel and today we are going to be doing a little throwback. I'm going to do an analysis of Right Place, Wrong Person by RM of BTS. And this analysis that you're about to listen to was actually conducted about a year ago, meaning that I recorded this for my old YouTube channel, Angel Reacts, and then I never edited the video. It was in the archives with an R. And I decided that it's time I bring it back because it was actually a pretty good analysis in my opinion. The only caveat is that the audio was not recorded with a microphone. I recorded it solely using my phone camera, so please forgive the poor audio quality. I guarantee you that the conversation is high quality. So I know a lot of you were looking for me to analyze Indigo from RM, which I will be doing. But we're starting with Right Place, Wrong Person, and we're gonna work our way backwards. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. I will let past Angel do the rest of the talking. So yeah, see you on the other side. Bye. Right people, wrong place. Right people, wrong place. No other than Right Place, Wrong Person by RM of BTS. Now, I am really excited to get into this, and I actually have a BTS website that I've been working on. So what I have here today is that website. I started making a section for Right Place, Wrong Person. It's not finished yet, but I figured it would be a good jumping point to talk about the album and then get into it track by track. So if that's something that you're looking forward to or is interested in watching, you know what to do. Give this video a like, comment down below, subscribe, and hit the post notification bell for future videos. Without further ado, guys, I've been waiting to say this, let's get it. We have an archive from Rap Monster to Real Me. As you can see, he's got his hands up for me like a stick up. That's a callback to Change with RM and Wale. I believe that's how you say his name. Inside Namjoon's brain. Alright, so let's talk about Right Place, Wrong Person. Now, we're gonna start with the first track on the album, which is Right People, Wrong Place. Right, wrong. This song is very interesting because it's more like an intro to the entire body of work, and it has a lot of like eclectic noises and like distortion happening. So to begin this project, RM opens with a confused narration that creates different combinations of right, people, wrong, and place. Through this meditative and puzzling track, because there's like certain FX sounds and shouting in the background that just add to that confusion, RM reveals how interchangeable these words are. Just as human beings' rightness or wrongness in an environment can be quickly modified according to their mindset. Through these subtle modifications, RM suggests that a person can go back and forth between right and wrong if they accept themselves as the focal point in their lives. If they recognize that they're the center of every situation they place themselves in, then they can discern whether they're the right or the wrong person in the wrong or the right place, rather than letting other people or different societal standards define and label them. So it's just such a cool concept to think that you're the focal point of your life, which is the truth. Like, you're the center, you're the gravity, it's your soul that dictates your future and your energy and what you exude when you walk into a room. So it's up to you if you're the right person in the right place or the right person in the wrong place. You don't have to feel that you're the wrong person and it's the right place just because you feel like you don't fit in. To break it down, basically, you get to decide if you feel comfortable in an area or not. Don't let other people dictate whether or not you belong there, because maybe it's just not the place for you, because it's not a place that you want to waste your energy on. If it's filled with negativity and hatred, then you are the right person. It's just the wrong place. It's not a place to go. Go somewhere else. But there's instances where you feel like, okay, maybe this isn't my space right now. These people clearly are here for a reason and this isn't for me. And that's okay. That's just part of life, is figuring out different sections of the puzzle piece that you fit into and where you feel comfortable in. And those moments are interchangeable. Sometimes the puzzle could like meld a little bit and you could fit in at different points when you didn't think you could originally. Now, a side note that I find very interesting is how RM uses a sort of militaristic cadence on this track, with the repetition of words and their specific placement sounding almost like an order, The way he's like, right people, wrong place, right, wrong, right, wrong. Like, it keeps changing. Like, you start to get very confused and dazed and puzzled. But it makes sense that he would take on the role of a soldier in his opening track, as this album was created to sort out his feelings before he enlisted in the military. But rather than utter a standardized order or a form of speech, he plays around with that original statement, sung by bending the rules of both language and sound. Thus, there's no specific philosophy to adopt from the song. Instead, you must select the one best for you in a given time or place, which I just think is so cool. He's not telling you that you're the right person in the wrong place. He's not telling you that you're the right person in the right place. You hear what you want to hear, which is something that we all do in everything on a daily basis. Sometimes we take the falsities out of a real statement and hear it as truth if it fits to what we want to believe. But he's saying, make your own discernment. Like, pick out what fits here for you and what doesn't, because it's right people, wrong place, wrong person. I loved in the interview with Jimin that he did when he did the little listening session, Jimin was like, but whose standard is the wrong based on? Who made them? And they both said together, people made them. So you shouldn't give people, just random people, so much power and control over your life when we're people too. Like, we all have the ability to come up with our own notions and ideologies and philosophies and circumstances and just belief systems. So you don't have to fit into another person's standard. Have your own standard, you know? Make your own taste. You think you got taste? Oh baby, how do you know? I mean, for God's sake, everything's under control. Sorry, I had to do it. Okay, so in the closing of Right Place, Wrong Person, Namjoon's musings culminate in a metaphorically arson-esque declaration that he's feeling high on a forest fire. So in this statement, he reveals his satisfaction in rebelling against the status quo and conforming to expectations. The quirky soundscape really complements his words as he subverts a listener's song expectations. The production flows seamlessly into track 2, which is like the most satisfying thing of this whole album for me. It feels like it's one big story. Like, when I listen to Right Place, Wrong Person, I need to listen to it in order. It just feels right. Everything just fits together so good. It's like, delicious. But anyway, I love that he does the feeling high on a forest fire, because it's kind of like his decision now to just live in his own discordance and chaos until he can find himself, and he's not going to apply to the standards that people are trying to make him apply to. So now we have Nuts, I Go Nuts, which features a wet, funky bass, and it really is fitting for the song, the title, just the lyrical content in general. It has a really fun, like, womp, 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 womp. As soon as I heard the song, I was like, whoa, what is happening in my earphones? This is crazy. This is not what I was expecting this album to sound like, especially straight off of Indigo. But I have to say, it's incredible. It's a really fun feeling, and I think there's a reason why RM's Nuts was in the top 10 on iTunes. It never gets old saying that. But if you allow me one moment to pull up the lyrics, I did not analyze anything else on my website because after Right Place, Wrong Person, I needed a breather. I took a lot of time in that one little intro track, but have no fear, I'm gonna do this for you in real time. We're gonna break it down together. Nuts begins with the womp 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 womp, that whole little funky bass thing going on, and then he's like, alright, 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 alright. So it's kind of just like the calmness after the chaos of Right Place, Wrong Person, where you have the whole feeling high on a forest fire. He kind of like takes us on that high with him. That's how I would describe this song. It's kind of like now we're on the high, but we're also like cooling down in this world he's creating for us. So he goes, I could make this right place for you. I could make it just right for you. I could make this right place for you. I could make it right. She a pro rider. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo, rider. Okay, so obviously with this song, I think we all know what he's talking about. I don't think I need to really break that down and analyze that for you. But I think it's also like a matter of I can make this right place for you. Like, he's figuring out how he doesn't have to do what society tells him to do in a relationship, whether it's with a man or with a woman. As we see, there's two different lovers in this song, but he's also saying, like, you can make the right place for the person that you're interested in, even if it's not the right place that society would say is the right place, if that makes sense. So then he says, this part is crazy, because he says how she must be an A1 guider, always throwing a slider. When it comes to love, she could be an all-nighter. Best gaslighter. No man could ever fight her. I go mad. So this is like, Nuts is like an angry song, because he's like talking about his past relationships and the struggles and the distrust and the level of nonsense that occurred within these relationships when he just tried to make it the right place for that person. And gaslighting, how do you gaslight Kim Namjoon? I do not understand that. But he says, I go mad, how can we do everything together? How come now there's nothing you can give? Nonsense, like all your life, love is just for the freaks. Which, then he goes, pro rata, rata, must be an A1 guide or always on that effing cacao talk, which to me gives me the hint that the guy might have been cheating if he's always on his texting, like on iMessage. But then he says when it comes to money, he could be a damn fighter. So it shows how the love wasn't sincere when he was literally just like arguing with him over money and just over like what he could get out of the relationship. Best gaslighter, no woman could stop him. I go nuts. So I think it's funny that he says mad for the woman, but then nuts when talking about the guy perspective. You know, looking like a monster, you look like your guts, just a shell, that trust. So I love the transition from the English to Korean, as he always does so seamlessly, but saying like looking like a monster, just a shell, that trust, because when you become like a shell of yourself and the trust is gone and it's not there, it does become an ugly monster. So then he says love is destined to fail, love is for the freaks. Freaky, freaking me, wishing you in a grief. So then it's kind of like him saying at the same time, I want you to be able to feel the pain that I'm feeling now that you caused me to feel. And love is destined to fail when there's not that level of trust in the relationship. So then he goes, I could make this right place for you, I could make it right. And then my favorite part in this entire track is the transition after the second chorus, because the music changes, there's like this whole kick up in the energy, and he's like, now lay back, you never been so high, I know you're afraid of heights, I will close your eyes. Like, it's just so atmospheric and amazing. Like, I didn't realize how obsessed I was with this song when I first heard it. It took me like a couple weeks, and then the next time I listened to it, it was like a euphoric, crazy experience. I was just like, wow, I get it. I get you, RM. Like, this is insane. And him saying, like, don't say goodbye. You never been so high. I know you're afraid of heights. Like, he's trying to remind the person, like, everything amazing that he brought to the table in the relationship and how good he would make that person feel. So you shouldn't be saying goodbye, which reminds me of Closer, if this all we can do, yeah, just looking at you, if there's gonna be no take two, stay where you are. It's like always kind of that pleading and desperation of hope that maybe this person won't just exit like everybody else does. So then he says, since you left, I'm finally alive. And now when he says that, the second he switches back to Korean, the music changes again, and it's almost like contradictory to the statement that he said. Because when he's with the person, he feels so high and he's like free, and you feel the music just floating with him. But then it's like, like that's the breakdown once he starts singing in Korean again at the since you left I'm finally alive. So it's almost like he's lying to himself at the same time, and you hear that in the distortion of the music behind him. And he says, every night I write letters to my past self, all the memories that would be shed with a glass of whiskey. I pray to a God I don't even believe in, so that I can move on from my 20s when you were everything to me. So like, damn, his archive of his 20s was filled with love and pain and heartbreak, and it hurts. It hurts to hear these lyrics. I'm like, wow. I'll wish you happiness sincerely, though you probably won't believe it. If it was a tough relationship, there's a stigma on my chest. It's called you. I love that part. I can't believe we were once together. So, like, he does not like this person anymore. Like, it's very clear, like, this person hurt him, scarred him, all of the above. It was a flu. and we could see the karma coming through. And then I love this line because he says, the monster hasn't been me, I beg you, oh baby please, because you know he was Rap Monster back in the day, but he's like, no, in this relationship the monster has not been me, but forever ever I wish you a true happiness, because he knows that karma comes around. So he doesn't want to wish ill on this person, but he wants that person to know that what they did to him stung and it cut deep. So yeah, this is a crazy song, and the instrumental, wow, just wow, it takes you on a journey. I love this song. I did think it was interesting about it was a tough relationship, there's a stigma on my chest, it's called You, because Stigma obviously is a song that V wrote as well on Wings, but I wonder if that whole point of like there's a stigma on my chest, it's like now he feels tainted by that person almost, like when he walks out on his day-to-day life, like he just has like the memory of them kind of like imprinted, and it just puts a distaste in his mouth for like, why were we in a relationship when it was so toxic? This is definitely for all the people who have been in toxic relationships and made it out to tell the story, but it still sucks and it still haunts you and lingers. But anyways, that is nuts. That is nuts. Quite frankly, that's crazy. So after Nuts, we go into Out of Love. And the transition, it sounds like it's the same song. It's literally crazy. Every time it happens, I don't realize the switch happens until I hear the "My is out of love, I'm done and out of love." So Out of Love, he says, I'm just a pack of a cigarette. I'ma burn down all the love and the hate, all the rights and the wrongs, even the world I've been living in for my whole life. Smoking kills, I know. It's my effing business. You be, stop, don't talk. Which this whole thing is very much related to the fact that he did post a photo of him smoking on Instagram, I believe last year, and he did delete the post, but it caused a lot of controversy. And I think he's saying, like, you shouldn't be putting these superstars, these idols, on such a pedestal to the point that they can't be human, they can't make mistakes, they can't make decisions for their own body, whether it's good or not, because everyone has the right to make their own choices. So he's saying, like, I'm just a pack of a cigarette. I'm gonna burn down all the love and the hate, the rights and the wrongs. Like, I want to make it known that I am just human like everybody else. And I know that smoking is bad, but it is my business. So you shouldn't be the one to say what I have to stop doing. Then he says, ashes fall like a snow. I've been changing all the flow. Time to let go of the past, the memories, the stacks of the truth. Diaries without priorities, which I love how he says that because it sounds like diaries without prior reads, which to me feels like he's saying like a double meaning to it. So yes, diaries without priorities, like you're not paying attention to the truth and the things that you wrote in the past, so it's time to let that go. But it's also like diaries without prior reads, as in he wrote out all of the stuff that happened to him, all of the pain, all the anguish, and he shoved it under his bed and he never looked at it again because he didn't want to deal with that pain. He wanted to be okay and just act like he didn't have this darkness within him. So diaries without prior reads, think I already killed myself out of the fears. So then obviously the fears was very much everything going on in their future and about going to the military and just that whole stress and the stacks of the truth, knowing that this was going to be their reality, but yet people were constantly making these assumptions that they weren't going to go, that they weren't going to fulfill their duties, and just like, again, talking and talking and talking about them instead of focusing on their own lives. So they say, smoke, drink, people, I know they stink, I mix them all at once, I'll put them in the sink. I don't do the dishes because it's my script. It's been 10-something years and I finally hear it again. Creep, I don't belong here. So when he's saying smoke, drink, people, I know they stink, saying like, yeah, I know. Like, it's kind of funny because he's like equating human beings to smoking and drinking and like the sometimes pungency that comes from all of these things, because when you think about people's level of toxicity, it almost is like a drug or an alcohol or an intoxication when somebody who is so like volatile tries to communicate with you or talk down to you or belittle you or just even just gossiping. Like, to me, that is the worst thing ever. Like, I for one can never handle when people gossip to me because I just don't care. If I need to hear something about someone, I will talk to that person. I don't need to hear it out of Lucy and Cindy's mouth, you know what I mean? And Inez, as Taylor Swift would say. But he's saying how I mix them all at once and I put them in the sink. I think that's really funny because he's saying, like, I don't do dishes because it's my script. Like, I have the decision of what I want to do and stuff, but yet he's mixing up all of this stuff and throwing it in the sink. But he's going to leave it there. He's not going to wash it. He doesn't care about that. He doesn't want that, even though he's experienced it and he's gone to the club. I never been to club before I hit the club. But after realizing, like, the same cycle that repeats with it, he's recognizing it's not something that he wants to really recycle and use again. So he just puts it in the sink and he's not going to do those dishes. So now it's been 10 something years again. I finally hear it again. Creep. I don't belong here. So that's his feeling that he doesn't belong in this idol world. He doesn't fit the mold of K-pop idols and the pristine personas they have to adhere to with the no smoking, no drinking, no dating, no any of that. So he's just feeling that voice in his head again telling him he's not supposed to be here. So then he says, poetry's dead and love's been buried. Since the truth you and I believe are different anyway. Sure, I don't resent you. Perhaps love will fail. So poetry's dead and love's been buried. Okay, Tortured Poets Department. Like, I need him and Taylor to do a song together because it would be the most devastating, crazy, philosophical joyride of my life. Or depression ride, you know, whatever they're here for. But he's saying poetry's dead and love's been buried. So his start was in poetry. Before he was rapping, he was writing poetry, RM. And he's saying poetry's dead and love's been buried. So this man was hurt. This man went through things. Since the truth you and I believe are different anyway. Sure, I don't resent you. Which it's so interesting about saying since the truth you and I believe are different anyway. Because truth is supposed to be factual, not a belief. But the truth in you and I believe are different anyway. He's saying one of these isn't the truth. There's something here that doesn't match up in the storyline. So that's why he's saying, I don't resent you, but perhaps love will fail. So I guess he realized with his significant other at the time that they did not see eye to eye on a lot of things. And because of that, it wasn't resentment, it's just indifference. It's just realizing, like, we're not on the same page. We need to flip the page and move on from each other. So he says, all you strangers, you did think you can please me? We only met a while ago. You do believe me? I'm used to it. I love it when you hate me. No kiss me, oh see me, don't leave me, just eat me. So this is interesting. I think this is just like a call out directly to like the media, to even fans, but not like ARMY, but like just people on the outskirts who kind of like all of a sudden do critique and act like they know BTS as individuals when you can't really know a person unless you talk to a person. And even at that point, it takes time to understand the layers to a human being. There's so many different facets. So he's saying, like, all you strangers, you think that you can please me? We only met a while ago. Oh, but you do believe me? And then all of a sudden, they start hating on him after they say that they love him. So he's like, I love it when you hate me. No, kiss me. Oh, see me. Don't leave me. Just eat me. Which reminds me of If Hope Was a Taste. What's yours? Would you eat all day? I feel like he's saying, like, just eat me alive. Don't leave me. Or kiss me. See me. Like, have whatever feeling and emotion you want from me and you're having from me. It's fine, but you don't know who I am. It's just all your own imagination. Then he says, honesty's always a crime. Just tell me if you need a dime, but I can't give you my time. I can't waste my time. You know you was a grime. You can F my body, can't F my mind. Oh, that line had me literally rolling on the floor. That's crazy. RM, Namjoon, you're crazy for that. But he's saying honesty is always a crime because when the truth comes out, people get bitter. They don't want to hear the truth, especially in a relationship or sometimes in a friendship when someone does something wrong to you. They don't want to hear it because they can't handle being wrong. So honesty becomes a crime on your part for telling them the truth. But then he says, just tell me if you need a dime, that I can't give you my time. Because he's realizing this person, whether it's the media, the lover, a bad friend, you're not worth wasting my time and energy, my precious energy. When I'm a creator, it's not right. And he's saying, I knew you was a grime, like the grime that you see in a sink if you're not cleaning the dishes. I knew you was a grime. You can F my body, can't F my mind, which I think that's self-explanatory. Like, you can mess with a person physically in ways we know what he's describing, but you can't touch the sexy brain. So yes, on to the next song. swipe, swipe, swipe. But Out of Love is really cool. I think it's an underrated track. Honestly, I don't see people talking about it that much. But what I do see people talking about is Domodachi feat. Little Sims. So I freaking love this song. This is like one of my favorite songs ever. It's so good. The music video was crazy too. I could go on and on about that as well with the kids and like the whole like system of society about getting in different circles with different friends and then having to leave other people so you can make it higher in life, but then realizing that you want to go back to where you originally were because that's when you really were seen and you weren't just another cog in a wheel that people don't even recognize your work and effort. But we're gonna just talk about the song because this is already a 24-minute video and I cannot do that. Okay. Domodachi feat. Little Sims. This song is so cool because Domodachi. Okay, so I used to play a game called Tomodachi Life when I was younger. It's this Japanese game and it was like the best thing ever. It was on the DS or the 3DS. I was addicted. But Tomodachi basically means friend. So Domodachi is a word that RM created to mean thanks my friend or like to all my friends basically. So that could be taken seriously or sarcastically, depending on the friendship. So he says at the beginning, Mother effers want a bigger growl, Mother effers need a damn patrol. I've been slipping through all kind of BS, I've forgotten where I'm from. So they want a bigger growl, meaning like everybody in the world is expecting for him to be louder and more like apparent in his beliefs, in his just like reactions and retaliations at certain bad behavior in the world, whether it's deflected at him or at others. But they also need a damn patrol. Like they need someone who is patrolling the area and seeing what's happening and being this like cop for truth sort of, other than the figure as a leader of BTS, a music group. But he's been slipping through all kinds of BS. I've forgotten where I'm from, he says, meaning that there's so many lies that are like infiltrating on the internet, even into the real world, that he's slipping through all this kind of nonsense. He's forgotten where he's from. He forgot he began in poetry and that this wasn't what his responsibilities were supposed to be. It just got crazy. It reminds me of the lyric in Wildflower that I believe he says, in a world that's for the loudest voiced, here I am singing in the silence. So he just wants to be someone who has grounding. Like, yes, he wants to make music and reach everybody with love and truth, but he also wants to be able to come down and be human and not be the loudest in the room. So then he says, all suckers want to get it, take a sip, fill that glass without saying anything, all the suckers want to hit it, I'ma lead you to the heaven, play the flute. So that goes back to his song Heaven, take my heaven, cause you ain't inside it. But when he's saying, all the suckers want to get it, take a sip, fill the glass without saying anything, it's just like he realizes these people aren't his friends. They're just expecting something from him. They just want to get involved in his circle. They just want him to accept them. They're not even using words. They're just trying to bribe him. And he's saying how, I'll lead you to the heaven, play the flute, which reminded me of Pied Piper, of course. But then he says, all my friends want to get around in O's. All my friends want to take another pose. So what I take from all my friends want to get around in O's, it's like the social circles. All my friends want to get around in O's, be solidified in these social elite circles so that they can get higher and elevated in fame. And all my friends want to take another pose because they want to pose with RM or BTS. They're going to get 1 million likes if they do. So then he says, but yeah, I'm knocked out with a bullshit. Get the F down by the F01 a doom shit. No more goofing around, I want cool shit. I'ma stay calm when they come up with the new shit. Which that is my favorite line ever. Because he's saying like, I can recognize this all isn't true. None of this is sincere. I want a little like doomsday almost. I want people to realize like what would happen if I call them out on it. And I'm like, hey, you know, I know you're fake. I want cool things. Like, let's stop with the goofing around and I'll stay calm when they come up with the new things. Meaning, like, I'm not gonna let the rumors they spread about me get to my head because I know the truth. So I'll stay calm. It's just another thing. It's just another thing added to the nonsense. Just light it up, the flames of this bonfire. Friends gather around me one by one. Get high, get fiery and saucy. Let me go ape, get down with the party. So he's like deciding like, all right, they're burning all the witches even if you aren't one. Light me up, baby. That's basically what he's saying right there. And then he says, just invade without warning, because that's what these people do. There's no warning, they just start infiltrating. All the vultures circling in dark clouds. So now he says, all my friends, let's dance here. And this part is sung in Japanese, which I love the difference from like the fast beat, kind of like discordant intro to Domodachi koko de danani masho. Because it's kind of like cultish in a way, but also like very slowed down and warped. And like, all my friends, let's dance here, dancing right now. It feels like it's all the people kind of preying on his friendship and like trying to be in his circle. And the way it's like so slowed down and weird, it gives you like this sense of like being around the forest fire, doing this whole little ritual, but it's like very eerie and ominous. And the truth is, fake friendships are freaking eerie. They are ominous when you can't tell who's actually there to support you and who's there to just use you and just be like a freaking sponge soaking up all your light trying to take it. I personally love the way that it sounds, and I think it's really cool how it slows down and then it picks up again with the mother effers want a bigger ground, mother effers want to take control. All my friends crying in a row, you won't get it. Free soul, you better come up with it. So that part with all my friends crying in a row, I think that whole section personally is related to the June 14th dinner of 2022 when they finally announced basically that BTS were taking a not so real hiatus, but because they were getting ready to go to the military, because all his friends were crying in a row. It was all 7 of BTS crying for the most part, other than Jin and his lobster, and you won't get it because they have a free soul. And he's saying you better come up with it because while everyone else wants to take control of their life and decide what they're gonna do, and again waiting for the bigger growl of them to say we're going to the military, but they were silent and getting ready to prepare us for it because they do have free souls, and you won't get it because you don't have that. You just want to suck the life out of other people because you're jealous you don't have that free soul. So I think that's what that means. Then we got my girl Lil Sims, who's like, look, I step up on the place and they yell, go figure. Watch, I'ma go all out for my hitter. I already told them I'm a gorilla. Sims and all rem, and it don't get bigger. Catch me in the back with my G's them. Greet them with respect when you see them. Run me up a check, I'ma need that. And get my Cody a stack, cause that's my dog. That's my homie. You and I know I don't do phony. I set the tone. Listen up closely. You know my name, but you do not know me. I got my broskies back till the end. You can't put one hand on my friend. We just here for a good time every day. So I love that she says, you and I know I don't do phony. I set the tone. Because then it's like building up of that lyric, like the phone tone. So listen up closely. You know my name, but you do not know me. So you have to stop making these assumptions that you know my life and that you can control me. And she's saying, like, with her real friends, she greets them with respect when she sees them. Because that's real. You want to treat the people you love with respect. But them, they don't want to be with the toxicity and the nonsense. And I love that she switches into the Korean with you can't cross my line. And then it goes right back into all my friends, let's dance here, dancing together now. So we got English, Japanese, and Korean on this track. Certified banger. There's a reason why it's critically acclaimed. There's a reason why it's making me in all the big articles for music this year. And I couldn't be prouder. So we're going to talk about Interlude. That is the next song. And this song isn't really something I consider much of a song because it is an interlude. It has a little question mark and it's very much like mostly just empty space. There's a little bit of lyrics that are in here, which are definitely some of the craziest lyrics I would say on the album. But what I love is the part towards the end where he does the what goes around, comes around, goes around, comes around. Because there's like this beautiful music that reminds me of like wind chimes and also just like going through like a forest and like watching water flow down a stream because it's like do-do, do-do-do, do-do-do, do-do-do. But at the beginning he says, would it have been better if I didn't know you? Because every feeling that I did feel is so true. I just hope you remember me, the best grave in your cemetery. But he says it like cemetery, which again, I love that because cemetery is like tree. And you know, Namjoon loves nature and he loves just like kind of being grounded. So I'm the best grave in your cemetery. You know you got the best of me. And you know what? I don't mind at all. What goes around comes around. What goes around comes around. So that's like a very like menacing, threatening ending almost, even though it's so beautiful. Because it's him saying like, even though you hurt me so bad and I gave you everything, even though you ended up breaking me in the end and I'm the best grave in your cemetery, like I know for a fact I am the best ex that you ever had. I don't mind at all that you got the best of me, because what goes around comes around. So he just keeps saying throughout this album, karma is real. Or, karma's a bee, I should have known better. If I had a wish, I would have never wrapped around. I'm sorry. Moving on. Groin. Now, Groin is probably one of my favorite songs on the album, other than Heaven, because Heaven is 3 minutes and 14 seconds long, which is my birthday, so he did that for me because my name is Angel. But Groin is such a good song. It is so fun. It's so like early 2000s rap, I would say, hip-hop style. And the music video where he's like British Namjoon, and for reasons we don't know why, in the tracksuit, it's so freaking funny. I love it. And I love the lyrics in this song and just the feeling. It's so funny to me how the intro sounds nothing like the rest of the song, because there's just like that empty space in between. But I think that this song is so good. So we're gonna get into the lyrics. So he says, Segi Gomana, there's a lot of annoying bastards in the world, which I know for a fact was Jimin's favorite lyric. What do you want me to do? Just walk in your own lane. So he's saying, like, why do you expect me to control all these other annoying people and everyone who causes these problems when I'm responsible for myself? Like, just walk in your own lane. I'll walk in my own lane, man. There's a lot of bastards you can't understand in the world. If I think I'm gonna crash, I accelerate harder, which that is a callback to Yoongi's lyric in, I believe, Nevermind? Yes, in Intro Nevermind, because Suga says in that song, if you feel like you're going to crash, then accelerate harder, you idiot. But the lyrics there are written in a passive form where the subject is being crashed into. But Groin's lyrics are written in the active form, so it's like RM's doing the crashing. So what I love about that is that he's taking control of being in his own lane. He's taking a little spin to Suga's more passive lyric of saying, like, if you feel like you're going to crash, accelerate even harder. Like, don't give up. You have to keep going. And he's like, if I think I'm going to crash, I accelerate harder. So it's just like so good. Like, it's him saying, like, I'm not giving up. I'm gonna keep on moving. I F it up, B. Every time you know I F it up, you D. I can never even begin to explain to you guys the shock that went across my face when I heard this song at midnight, especially with my mom next to me. But you know what? We're both Groin enthusiasts, as weird as that sounds. He also says, I mess it up like this all the time. I can't be a monk. Other people's words, they never come to me right, not an effing diplomat. So that's him saying, like, he can't be this missionary that people are expecting him to be. And also, that's definitely a callback to the monk who wronged him, because he went to a temple to talk about his fears before the military. And what did that monk do? He leaked the story. He sold it to a paper. And Namjoon said, low-key must be low-key. I won't be going there again. So it's him saying now, other people's words, they never come to me right. Even when I seek philosophy and guidance from other people, I realize that it's not right. I can't be a monk either. Life just got bearable, so you're here adding responsibilities. What am I supposed to represent? I only represent myself. So it's him saying, like, finally, BTS have been running for 10 years. They've been working so hard for so long, and now that they finally got to this great point in their superstardom, there's all these responsibilities being added, whether it's the UN, whether it's going to the White House, whether it's the military. So he's saying, what am I supposed to represent? I only represent myself. Trying to remind everybody that we as individuals are responsible for ourselves solely. Yes, our actions have consequences and can affect people immensely, and it's important to be mindful of that. But you have to remember that it's you in this world till the end of your life that you're going to have to hold on to. So in order to stay grounded, you can't get too caught up and lost in other energies. I am so parched today. I think it's just because I've been spitting so many bars. But anyway, he says, let me just say what I want to before I die of anger. So this is him, like, finally getting out his last final grievances before he goes into the military. To those who don't like me, I'm always speaking alien. Blah, 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 blah. Whatever I do, you can't stop me now. Bang song. Which is so good because he's like, bang song, bang song, bang song, bang song. But basically, he's saying, like, to the people who can't stand him, they don't hear the truth and sincerity in his words. They don't see him for what he is and what he's trying to give out, because haters are just gonna hate no matter what you do. And bang song is actually a Korean meme meaning an alien speech that's supposed to be understood as gibberish. But it could also potentially refer to a Buddhist practice of planting trees or setting up rocks as a form of defense, which makes sense because bangsang, it also sounds to me like bang, bang, like bangsang, bangsang, like you're kind of trying to deflect all the hate. It's interesting too if you think bangsang because bang is obviously like the bullet kind of feeling, but then song could also be seen as sang if you think of it in English. So it's like he sings, his singing is his bullets that he fires, his ammunition to fight against the haters. At least that's the take that I could get from it. After that, he says, I see what I see, me. I be what I be, me. I'll set you free. Can't tell me nothing, I'm so far, what did you just come? So here I think he's saying like, I'm going to do what's best for me. I see myself. I'll set you free, all the haters, all the toxicity, all the bad energy. Can't tell me nothing. Like, you can't tell me what to do and try to stop me now because I've come so far. And whatever you do, like, it'll be what it's gonna be, but I'm gonna be me. So then he says, get your ass out of trunk, get your ass out of trunk, which to me is like saying to all the people who try to ride on his coattails, the people who try to get in the back of their BTS's truck and kind of just like, you know, ride off of their success and act like they're part of it after they literally were hating on them. He's like, get out of here. Your face, I'm like, ugh, like, go away. And then he says my favorite line ever, you walk like a duck, bitch, which is so funny because it's like if it walks like a duck and talks like a duck, it's probably a duck. So he's kind of saying like to all these people, like, you are what you are. I see you. I see the kind of person that you are, and I don't need you in my life. Bye. So then he says, there's a lot of annoying bastards in the world. What do you want me to do? Just walk in your own lane. There's a lot of bastards you can't understand in the world. I accelerate harder. Just accelerate harder. I F it up. I F it up. Hate is harmful, but I suck it up. Going backwards now, closer to the edge of the cliff. While Sanyeon on our way to annoy our mothers with Sanyeon, which Sanyeon is one of the producers of Bombing Tiger who worked with him on this album, which I think it's so cool that he reached out to Bombing Tiger as a collective to work on this incredible body of work because they have such a crazy, eclectic discography. I had the honor of seeing them at Head in the Clouds, and I will insert some of those clips in here because I literally lost my mind during Sexy New Kim and during Trust Yourself. That's one of my favorite songs. I also love Armadillo. I think this whole project was a way for RM to expose and expel so much crazy energy he had pent up for years, especially from 2022 to now. I feel like this was just like something he had to get out, something he had to clear the air with. So then he says, perhaps above the law? No, not that, never. Like, he doesn't think he's above anyone. He's not trying to be. I'm going to live righteously, but you never know. Stop staring and back off. Don't provoke me. If you want to be my friend, then just pour me a drink, you dig? Which goes back to Domodachi saying about how people, like, pouring the drinks and stuff but not really paying attention. They're not even saying any words. Like, it shows that it's so absent-minded and not sincere. He's saying, like, stop, like, staring, stop triggering me, stop gawking at me like I'm a still life image. But instead, if you want to connect, just connect with me on a human level, like how Bombing Tiger did. And we can get along. We can maybe make some music together. So that's the crux of this song, and it's delicious. It's chef's kiss. I'm gonna take a brief intermission to get some water because your girl is dehydrated. Okay, so I'm back and we've arrived at my favorite song on the album, no other than Heaven. This song is very different from the rest of the songs on the album because it gives off a more wave to earth vibe, I would say. It has more like a dream pop kind of feel. It's very like atmospheric, very like light and floaty. You could definitely imagine yourself listening to this while lying at the beach. This song is gorgeous. So it starts with, take my heaven, 'cause you ain't inside it. If that's your delight, come ruin my vibe. So he's kind of saying, like, to the person who hurt him and, like, the person he loved, saying, like, go ahead, take my heaven because you ain't inside it. Like, he's realizing that they weren't a part of the beautiful picture of his life. They weren't meant to be there. They were something darker, more sinister. But if that's your delight, come ruin my vibe by all means, because that's just part of my story. You're part of it now, so I have to accept that. And then he says, take my heaven, oh you ain't invited. Go grab your knife and watch me collapse. So he's saying to the person yet again, like, you're not invited, you're not welcome here in my heaven, in my inner peace. Go ahead, grab your knife and watch me collapse. If you want to hurt me and watch me fall, by all means do it, but I'm not going to retaliate against you because I know what karma is. I know that karma is real, and I know that what goes around comes around. So he says here, you don't need to hide it. I know what you are. Yeah, you do every time. And I just love the way that sounds. His voice is so pretty on this. I love RM's singing voice. Like, I really, really do. It's so beautiful and just gentle and comforting. So then he says, don't let me ignite it. You trying to rewind, but not for this time. Which again, don't let me ignite it kind of makes me think of the first track with feeling high in a forest fire. Like, don't let me ignite it. Do I have to burn our love down because you're so toxic and now you're trying to go back to when it was good? But not for this time, because he's learning now that he wants to find his own inner peace as his own individual and not need to rely on this person, which is what he says in the next verse. Because he's like, I'm feeling so good here with me, feeling so full here with me, everything's untakeable, my peace is unbreakable, take my heaven for free, your words and face don't kill me, you know you're not unlovable, I'm happy where the devils are. So he's saying here, like, I'm feeling so good here with me, I'm feeling so full here with me, which is such a great contrast from his song where he goes, I feel so lonely when I'm with me, I feel so lonely when I'm with me. Like, he's finally learning to love himself and to really mean it when he says he loves himself. Everything's untakeable, my peace is unbreakable. Like, you could take my heaven, but you can't take my peace. Would it be enough if I could never give you peace? Take my heaven for free. Your words and face don't kill me. Like, that is such a healing lyric in my opinion, because I know I've had many people in my life who their words and face did kill me. Like, there were points where I was like, oh my gosh, like, the pain that you caused me after I thought I loved you, after I thought we had such a wonderful bond, it's so hard now to even walk past you or see you. But now having their words and face not killing me, like being able to see them face to face and being okay with it and just, I'm moved on, I feel peace. That is the greatest gift. So I love that lyric. And then he says, you know you're not unlovable. I'm happy where the devils are, which is very interesting to me. I feel like this song could have a couple different meanings and readings. At least in my perspective, some of the lyrics definitely have a little bit of queer coding, I would say. I could be wrong, but him saying that I know what you are, that's very obviously a meme about if you know if someone's a little, and he did infiltrate a lot of memes throughout this album, whether it was with the photo book or the music video. Like, he definitely is aware. He's chronically online too, at least he was. And then him saying, I'm happy where the devils are. Obviously, there's like that whole imagery of like it not being religiously acceptable if you are, you know? So I don't know. That's just something I get out of it, but it could be totally the wrong take. But he did say he and she is a pro rider. So I don't know. The proof might be there, but proof by BTS. So then he says, so take my heaven, because you ain't inside it. If that's your delight, go grab your knife and watch me collapse. So take my heaven. I just think this song is so beautiful and healing and pretty. And thank you, RM, for writing it, because I love it. And that brings us to Lost. How you get love like how you get love? Take it from the love like us. What I do love about the intro of this song is how it sounds like so like distorted at the beginning, and it's kind of hard to understand what they're saying. Like, the words aren't perfectly clear. With the love, how you get love like how you get love? Take it for the love like how'd you get lost? And then that's more clear. Take it from the love like us. How'd you get lost? take it from the love like us. So he's saying, like, trying to figure out the meaning of life, and with how do you get in love? How do you find love? Take it for the love. And then he's saying, like, he's basically telling a story through that, in my opinion. So it starts with him trying to figure out how you get in love, but then take it from the love, as in, like, he was in that relationship, and then how do you take from that love? You grow this love and bloom it together, and then you take from it. How'd you get lost? Take full of love like us, or take it from the love like us, which I know I sound like I'm speaking gibberish, but he's saying now that how did you get lost? It's because you're taking from the love. When you take from love and you break that bond and that mold, that's how you get lost, because you don't have that substance anymore, that bond, that chemical connection that's now all warped. And take it from the love like us, it's also like personifying a human being as love, which goes back to trivia love with salam and sarang, live and love, person and love. So he's saying, like, you take it from the love like us, as in we are love, and when you take that love from us, you get lost. It was you. It was you. It was you. So that's to the person who took from his love, who took RM as a love. Like Taylor says in the Tortured Poets Department, you took my tortured heart, left all these broken parts. It's a very similar sentiment. So then he says, I'm gosh darn lost. I never been to the club before I hit the club. Ay, ay, ay. I never felt so free before your goddamn ghost. Ay, ay, ay. I never felt so fine before I hit the ooh. And the beat for this song is so much fun. Like, the second I heard this, I was like, oh, 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 oh. Like, it's just so good. But the music video is crazy too, because he has like this whole part at the beginning where there's like two different people speaking in English and in Korean. They're like speaking simultaneously, like changing up between the languages, and they're introducing RM with his song Lost. But when they introduce RM instead of Namjoon, they're very like cold and like emotionless, no expression during some parts of their language, and then in other parts of the language they're more over animated and like insincere. So it kind of makes you very confused as a watcher, because you don't know what they're trying to make you perceive in the music video at the beginning. And it's funny too, because there's no captions when they speak in Korean, which is obviously very reflective of how when BTS were getting interviewed in America earlier on in 2017 and 2018, there was no captions when the interviewers were talking to them in English. They were just expected to respond, especially RM as the translator for the group at the time. And that's a struggle when it's not a language that you were natively speaking. So it becomes very distorted. So he wanted us as viewers to feel that same kind of struggle, that same kind of feeling of being lost as he felt, which I just thought was a really cool nuance to add to the video. And then it goes from RM, introducing RM, to inside Namjoon's brain. And then there's all the different archetypes inside his brain, the different people he goes with throughout the maze in the video. There's like one that's like fear, there's one that's confidence, ego, there's like all these different perceptions that you get of different Namjoons, because they all have the little name tag as they're trying to make their way through the maze. So it's just a really, really cool music video. Like, I could break that down for so long, especially with how it connects to the Come Back to Me music video. But if that's something you guys are interested in, let me know. I'll do it in another video. But for now, we're going to continue with the lyrics. So he says, I never been to club before I hit the club. I never felt so free before, which is so like funny to me and so real that he's being honest. Like, he didn't have time to club in his earlier years, in his early 20s, because he was BTS. He was very busy. He was booked and busy. But then once he hit the club, he felt free. He felt like this whole new experience of being a human being and like living. But then at the same time, he had the ghost of that person that he loved haunting him. But I never felt so fine before I hit the cloud. So it's like this whole like disorientating experience in your youth of loving and losing and celebrating and getting kind of overwhelmed by the noise and the lights and everything. So he's like, hold up, hold up, hold up now, damn, yeah, thank you, don't worry. I came to my senses and all of a sudden I'm in an empty street, which could probably be like after drinking. Like all of a sudden he's in an empty street and he's like, oh wait, what just happened last night? Where was I? Like it's that void that constantly keeps on growing bigger and bigger the more that you go out, and suddenly it doesn't feel as exciting as it felt the first time. Time flies like an arrow. That 14-year-old is already 30, which is like so emotional, especially when life goes on with like an arrow in the blue sky. But now he's already 30. And I look up in the sky, I see silver cloud, yo hurry. Silver cloud could be like a silver lining. And he's saying, yo hurry, like come on right now, give me that silver lining, let me see where the joy is. But it could also be, and I look up in the sky, I see silver cloud, yo hurry. Which a silver cloud could also be like a thunder cloud, like there could be rain about to pour down. So he's like, uh-oh, we gotta run, we gotta get out of here, this is not good. And then he's like, dump it on the ground, pick it up, throw it in the trunk, dump it on the ground, pick it up, throw it in the trunk. He loves talking about throwing things in the trunk. So now this is like the cycle of like letting out, releasing, and then picking it up and moving on again. That whole process like that goes on within your soul of like letting out the bad stuff, picking it up again and just moving on with your baggage, so that way you grow from what happened in your life and how you can continue to elevate as a human being because of the experiences you have. But at the same time, you need to dump it out and release so that way you can learn from it and pick out the lessons that are a part of that moment that happened in your life. And then he says, pick it up now, let's go dumb. I, dump it on the ground, yeah, I, which I love that part. It's just like so freeing, like just like let it go. Let it all go. Don't worry about everything that's happened. Just dump it out. Release. Exhale. And he says, I keep falling. My blood is flowing. I got lost in the ground, but not begging at you. Like, I got lost. I had that moment, but I'm not begging for you to come back because I realized this was part of my story and moving forward. So he never was to the club before, but he hit the club and he's got temptation. I got temptation. That's like my favorite part of the song too, because obviously when you're at the club there's temptation about all different vices that you can fall into and different people to connect with. It doesn't mean you should fall into it, and if you do, you do, and you get lost and you pick yourself up again. You dump it on the ground, pick it up, throw it in the trunk. And now every morning, every night, I'm always feeling lifeless. And in the morning I feel love, I hug it in excitement, which I just think is the cutest line ever. Again, the idea of personifying love. He loves to personify love, and I love that. And he's saying like, at first, you wake up in the morning, you feel a little low. At night, you feel a little low too because you have like the void of things you wish you did that day or things you wish you didn't do. In the morning, sometimes you wake up and you're not ready to get out of bed. But in the morning, you also get to feel love and you hug it in excitement. Because if you had that gift before you, if you had the chance to experience love in any form, whether it's something you love doing, whether it's making your favorite thing for breakfast, whether it's petting your dog on the couch, if you have that love and you could feel it in some retrospect, hug it in excitement, you know? Then every morning, every night, I always feel psychness. When I feel lonely as F, I still get lifeless. I'll never love when I'm low, it's gonna be lightless. He says he'll never love when he's low, meaning when he's in a bad, negative headspace, because he'll realize that love isn't sincere. It's gonna be lightless. It's not gonna have his inner light within it, so it can't bloom into something beautiful, because he's going into it not having the full sincerity for the experience, which I just think is beautiful. Like, you shouldn't commit to something if you're not ready because you're not committed to yourself. Okay, guys, so we have arrived at our third to last track of the analysis. And Around the World in a Day, feat. Moses Sumney, is one of my favorite tracks on the album as well. I would say like my top songs are Heaven, Nuts, Groin, Domodachi, and Around the World in a Day. But when we, like, that's my top 5. So it starts with Moses Sumney singing the chorus, and he goes, look around, say I love them all your lies, only time will sort it out. And then RM is like, if it's right, if it's wrong, then I'll tell you, only time will sort it out. Is it right, is it wrong, I can tell you that I've outgrown So I feel like this song is like a healing moment in the album because it's kind of like RM making his peace that he's gotten through the toxic relationship and he can say now, I've outgrown you. Like I can tell you what was right and what was wrong about the relationship. And now I know how to breathe again and look around, say I love them, all your lies. Only time will sort it out. So you have to have that time and space to grow, to move on from the pain and to recognize why you were with the person, what you did love, what you didn't love, and how you were able to outgrow them. So he's saying, is it right, is it wrong? Because you tell me it's true. Only time will sort it out to tell you that it's true. And then I love what he does with the production here and his voice, because he's like, pum, 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 pum. Let's start the parade. Because to me, that reminds me of like the little drummer boy, like the rum pa pum pum. Dun, 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 dun. It's just like such a nice way to start the next verse, especially when you're saying let's start the parade. It's like almost welcome to the Black Parade also. And he says, if it's by design, only time will sort it out. But if it's by design, like God's design, God's plan for you, only time will sort it out. Pum, 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 pum. Let's run the night. If it's their design, only time will sort it out. And then saying if it's their design, meaning like the people in the relationship, him and the person that he was with, if it's their design, like this is what the choices that they made, only time will sort it out. Ooh, 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 let's end masquerade. If it's by design, only time will sort it out. And then saying let's end masquerade, like let's stop putting on these fake faces for each other and like pretending that we're something we're not. If it's by design, only time will sort it out. We don't need to keep masquerading our relationship if it's not sincere. What's wrong is right, yet it's our design, and we'll be marching. Which I don't know, I love that. I love the whole feel of this song, especially with the I see lovin' all around the town. I see loving all around and round, and saying I see loving all around the time. So he's constantly yearning RM for a relationship and for sincere love, but he's also recognizing that if it's by design, only time will sort it out. You have to wait for the right one to come as opposed to trying to force it, because that's when it's just not real and it doesn't make you feel any better. So he's saying, look around, jump around like I live that raw. Mother effers in the crowd like mine with that straw. And this is a right letter to you. I be acting like the who you. I'm around in the club and I be stamping on like screw you. So I think that's him saying like, I try to live that raw and that sincerely as I am, but people are still going to try to take advantage of me and try to be part of my life even when they don't belong there. So he's saying, I'll write a letter to you and I'll be saying like, who are you? Like, why were we together when you were not the person I thought that you were? But I just miss that. Sometimes all those are chit chat. You hit me back a lot of times. I never did that. Meaning like the person hit them up again after the relationship a lot of times, and he didn't do that because he was trying to break apart freely and have like a safe end to the relationship where they weren't torturing each other by trying to be like, what if we can rekindle it? But the other person was clearly toxic and trying to reconnect after it was already done. And he's saying, I never did that. Like, I tried to make it a clean end so that way we didn't hurt each other more. But I can barely sleep. I have your ghost in my closet. If you want my bed and some tears, give you the loot. It's a loop. I'm gonna roll it, I roll it up every time. I'm gonna ride till all the hate and love ain't matter. I never mind cause I wanna do is dance better. I'm sick and tired of you digital trendsetters, which is like my favorite line ever. He says, if you want my bed and some tears, give you the loot, it's a loop. So kind of like give you the loot as in like, this is what she's expecting from him. She wants to see him in pain and anguished and sad, she or he. And he's saying it's a loop, like you keep on trying to take from me. That's why I have your ghost in my closet, but I'm gonna roll it up every time and I'm gonna ride and I'm gonna ride till all the hate and love ain't matter. This guy loves to ride, but he's saying I never mind because I want to do his dance better. Like he's saying like he wants to be able to have his own biorhythm, his own flow to life and existence. And he's sick and tired of the digital trendsetters, of these people like trying to make these assumptions about him and control what's acceptable and what people can listen to and what people shouldn't listen to. So he's making his own crazy music right now because he isn't trying to fit into a mold. He's just gonna do what he wants to do. And he knows that he isn't cool, but he's in a move. And he's going to continue to move the way that he's moving because this is what he feels. And he's above the cloud, and I'm down with you. Let it loose. So basically saying, like, if you feel what he's feeling and you vibe with this and you want to be above the cloud, come on, join me. Let it loose. And he says how if I fall asleep again, hit me. Meaning, like, if I ever get too comfortable in the mundane and in the same digital trendsetter lifestyle as everyone else, hit me, wake me up. I don't feel too well, just let me down. Like, don't let me get stuck in the same behavior as everyone else. The view when you get lost is more beautiful, which is a beautiful lyric. I'm just like something lost, desperately hoping to be found. Us lost ones, we ain't look so pitiful. It's only now that we wear that smile and raise our middle fingers. Yet all the past, the present, I'm a pass, then give it to you. I don't work right, and I like that. So he's saying it's a good thing to be different. It's a good thing to be lost because you're getting out of a specific mold and you're finding a way to have your own independence, freedom, and thought processes rather than be stuck in the processes that somebody else is trying to make you be in. There's nothing wrong with finding your own identity and getting a little lost so that you can find yourself. So go ahead, raise your middle fingers, wear that smile, and I love how he says, all the past, the present, I'm a pass, then give it to you. Meaning, I'm gonna pass this on to you. I'm gonna move on. I'm not gonna hold on to this anymore because I'm realizing around the world in a day, there's a way that you can find love without being forced to fit into a mold of a specific behavior. And I just love how he says, like, I can tell you that I've outgrown you. It's just so healing. There's something so healing about this song to me, too. It's a similar sentiment to Heaven about realizing that just no, only time will sort it out. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to learn that some people aren't meant to be in your life, but they were at the time, and now you can outgrow them. If it's right, is it wrong? Tell me if it's true, that only time will sort it out. That brings us to credit roll. Also, TT, just like TT. And I know this is Jimin's favorite song also. When the credits roll, do you hang tight? Do you stay inside or go off to life? I'm so grateful for everyone's time. Hope you all had such wonderful night. So this song is just like, again, similar to the interlude. It's pretty short and has just the main point of when the credits roll as we approach the nearing end of this album. Are you still here? Like, do you still listen and see the real person behind the music, or do you just kind of disappear? And if you do stay, he's very grateful for the people who are hearing him out in what he is feeling right now. And he hopes everyone had a wonderful night. And I don't know about you, but I had a great night, and I'm thoroughly enjoying breaking down this album yet again. It's been months and I'm still in love with this album, which brings me to one of my most streamed songs of the year, Come Back to Me. Now, Come Back to Me, I've been in love with this song ever since he debuted it at D-Day with August D. I knew that this song was going to hit different for me because he wrote it for all the girlies who fall into little seasonal depressions, sometimes full-time depressions, and forget the hour and don't know how to shower. So I really appreciate that. And the music video is so movie-like, especially since it was created by a movie director, so it makes sense. And it's just like him going through all these different modes of life, but basically just like the different experiences of life, like these different avenues he could go down that society would want him to fit into, whether it's being like a girl dad, like being a husband, whether it's being like among friends who are out drinking, but he kind of doesn't feel right there. He's like out of place. Whether he's a baby in a crib. Just like so many different experiences. And it's like the whole point is of him coming back to who he really is, finding that center so that he can figure out where the rest of his life is going to take him. And also, he looks so fine in this video, let me just say that as well. But the beginning of the song goes with, I told you I'm fine and I staying good. Spring always been here, I will sleep in her eyes, which I just think is such a beautiful line about personifying spring again and saying like she's always been here, so I will sleep in her eyes. Like I have the comfort of knowing that spring is watching over me even in the darkness of winter. I'll be able to find that solace and relaxation under a willow tree, just being tranquil and enjoying life. Even though I had this hardship, or I struggled in a relationship, or there were certain moments where I didn't feel like I had that grounding, all I need to know is spring is there, even when I can't see her right away. So come back to me like you used to do. Be what you be, I will roll you to the moon. Which obviously makes me think of Moonchild, and him just saying he's going to wrap himself up, almost swaddle like a baby in a way, until he feels one with himself again and grounded. And he's like, I forgot the hour. I don't want to know about the hour. I forgot to shower. Even washing my face feels like a waste of time. So that's obviously just like when you're so lost in a depressive state and just like confused with where you're going, you can't even be bothered to do the simple self-care things. But you don't have to be the anything you see. Trying not to be that something in the sea, which I think is such a beautiful thing because it's so comforting to say, like, you don't have to be so monumental and so like gigantic, like have this incredible career, this incredible life, this incredible talent. You just have to exist. You just have to be, because you're created here for a reason and you are enough to be loved. But you don't have to try and be something in this sea, like this sea of people who are all so like seem like they have it all together, but they really don't, based on what you see on social media. But it's just also like such a peaceful lyric of saying like trying not to be that something in the sea. Like he doesn't want to just be like everybody else, like another fish swimming around. Run away like a fish, yeah. He wants to find himself. So he's saying, come back to me like you used to. Now I can see what a life is about. I told you I'm fine tonight, staying good. Spring's always been here and I will sleep in her eyes. And in the music video, there's like this door that he doesn't approach most of the time. That's kind of just there, everlasting in the background, kind of just like lingering. And it has the colors on the door that's like red, green, and blue, which obviously made me think of Closer with I see you in red, blue, green. Don't wake me up from sleep. So it's almost like that person again who he needed to let go of so that he could come back to him. And he's saying, like, you are my pain divine, divine. Get to the divine. I see you, come back to me. It's just like such a beautiful song, and it repeats like that. And I think it's a perfect closer for the album because it almost makes you want to begin the whole album again and feel the experience. It's like the beginning and the end. It's this circle moment. And it's just like renewal and feeling like that joy of beginning again and recognizing the sadness and the love and how they're synonymous with each other. And you just have to continue moving forward and coming back to yourself in the moments that things get hard. And just reflection. I think a lot of it is reflection, intro reflection. That is my RM talk. I hope you enjoyed. This is definitely going to be a long video, and I decided I just wanted to kind of speak my mind and run my mouth. So if that's okay, I hope it is. I hope you enjoy the video. I'm very thankful that you guys were here, and I'll see you next time. Bye.